All right. I forgot to loop the intro again. That's why it keeps going live early. The live stream has not begun yet. I mean, it has, but it hasn't. Okay, pre-flight checks. Where's my checklist? That's what I need. I'm going to have to write a checklist.
Checklist. Like you were back in the cockpit.
Flaps, one, brake, set, altimeter, 202.
We're on there.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. It went live because I forgot to put loop on the intro. We're doing it 12. Well, I can always turn the thing back on, and here I'll turn the intro back on. turned on, they can hear what we're saying, so be careful. Choose your words carefully. Well, hello everybody. Max and Max's Models here. We got Sparky with us, or Brian, and Steve. Ken will probably be along later. He said he would be here. He's probably eating his dinner or something. So, and yes, Eric, Steve did get. I did forward it to him. He did get it.
I answered.
Oh, yeah. I thought that was you. Yes, that was you answering.
Yeah.
I love that wall of models. It's not a wall of models. That's his inventory. He's looking behind you there, Brian.
That's one section.
That's all the stuff that's spoken for. And I need to get a big banner behind me or something.
Yeah, you should. So anyway, well, I'll tell you what, before we get on to the stuff that I made slides for us a while, because Brian has to take off here in about 30 minutes because his wife's about to audition for a tribute band of the B-52s, right? Is she there? Is she there?
Come on.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
Oh my God, it's Kate.
And see, unlike a lot of our girlfriends, she's real.
So we can see it in the next episode.
I actually did a short and it's out right now.
Okay.
So, anywho, before we get on that stuff, we're going to finish talking about model cars. There is a model car that it's okay. Brian, you went to the museum, so tell us about the Museum of American Speed, the models and everything you saw there. And there's 1,000 videos out about it.
Yeah, it's insane. I didn't know really anything about the museum before I went, and first of all, the museum is 230,000 square feet. The museum itself, the model car section, it's good size. I don't really know about how many square feet it really is, but like there's a lot of vintage stuff there. He wants to add on to it. A lot of the history, like older builds. Jim Keeler was honored there. He has his own little corner, and he actually sent his tools and stuff in his desk and a whole bunch of stuff that they put in the corner over there, showing his work off. And he's the creator of a lot of different kits, and there's just a lot of like the builds in there are show winners wherever you go. The guys spent the museum spent $100,000 just on display cases for this place, and it's just incredible. And he wants to make it bigger and build more and expand it, and it's awesome.
So, were there any kit cars you can think of that they're looking for that they didn't have in their collection yet?
Well, God, I mean, he'll pretty much take anything. He'll take anything as long as there's a lot of stuff that he doesn't have, but like what's really on display over there is a lot of other builders' stuff. It's not just like a bunch of old vintage kits and stuff like that. There are a couple things that he wants to do with it that he's talked to me about that I'll let you know later on. But it's gonna be pretty cool. He just wants to expand it. He's looking for anyone that wants to donate anything that's vintage in the model world, and you do get a tax write-off with it, from what I understand. Because you are donated to a museum. So just anything vintage, and it doesn't even have to be a complete kit. It could just be the box art.
Now, I understand he's got a fair amount of the original box art there too.
Yeah, I know he wants to do something really big with a bunch of box art.
Well, like we were talking about earlier, going to military models. You and I'll talk about it later, but when you come down this way, I got a feeling we might be able to work something out on whatever you got left over on the military stuff, but we'll see how that turns out. I mean, you never
Yeah.
know. Somebody may call you out tomorrow and just say, "Send it all to me," and that's great. If you do, you can get rid of it.
I was going to go to IPMS next week, but some other things came up. I'm kind of changing my plans. I was going to go out there and try and find someone to buy everything
Mm-hmm.
out there because Fort Wayne is 5 hours from me.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going to go out to there to that show. It's a pretty big show.
Oh, I've been to one of them. It is enormous.
Yeah, that show out there is supposed to be one of the bigger ones.
Well, that's the Nationals. I think the Nationals is as big as it gets. It's bigger than Model Palooza or any of them.
See, I'm not really familiar with like the shows and stuff. Like I just
the quick and dirty is most local clubs will run a convention of a con, or a Model Palooza. And you go to Pam's Con. I go to Pam's Con and Jack's Con and Model Palooza, which are all down here in Florida. They also have one on the Space Coast, and they're respectable. Don't get me wrong. But IPMS Nationals, it's the Super Bowl. It really is, and you're going to find Andy from Andy's Hobby Headquarters is there with a truckload of inventory.
He's there with the store.
He's there with the store, yeah. And he's not the only one. And I'm finding kits I didn't even, the thing is about that is, well, Bob Azzarelli was there, and he was unloading some of his kits for $5 a piece just to get them out of inventory. And there was another guy that had a whole big inventory of the Wingnut Wings airplanes, which are out of production, and he was getting $300 a piece for them. So it's very much free market capitalism,
There was one guy there who had nothing but old Aurora kits. He had a whole booth of nothing but old Aurora kits.
And he wasn't letting go of them cheap either.
No.
And he had, to his credit, he had probably the most complete selection and collection I've ever seen, at least of Aurora aircraft. I'm talking about the guy who had them up against the wall, but they were, again, several $100s a piece because that's the kind of inventory you can't replace once it's gone. But
see, you got a bunch of regional shows, as Max pointed out. The other show that was really popular, which they had the last one last year, was the GSL out of Salt Lake. They're the guys who were behind the Model Car Kit Museum. The Model Car Kit Museum used to be in Salt Lake.
Yeah.
And it was in a very, very small building. And it was kind of like by appointment only. You had to have somebody that you knew to get in there. Did you meet Mark Gustafson at the show? The heavy guy with glasses, beard.
I think I've seen him walking around.
He was like the keeper of the flame. And him and Jim and Randy Durr and a bunch of other guys, they're the ones who put it together to preserve, the classic builds of model car kits. And they tried for years to get somebody to sponsor the museum because they were afraid as they got older that if they died off, what would happen to all these kits? And as you saw, they have things like the original Patra paints, and they had the spray paints that were the ones that.
No, keep going.
Oh, the ones that testers made in the beginning, and the interior parts and the car parts and all this stuff. And they were fortunate that that Speedway decided to pick it up because they did a beautiful job. I mean, I was at the old museum and it was impressive, but it was very small.
Now that you said that, I'm gonna grab something real quick.
Okay.
Keep talking.
Yeah, because they have in Canada. They have, I know Heritage Con's a big one up in Canada. But I don't know if it's the big one, but but the of the local conventions that I've been to, there you go, Patra, baby.
There it is.
Got that out of a collection. That's going to the museum too.
Now, the thing that almost made me and Eric faint was when we got to go to God, I can't believe I'm having a brain fart. The guys had the huge facility in L.A. Come on, help me out here, Eric. My OMS and old man syndrome's setting in. The ones who bought out Mobius.
The guys with the big hobby store in. Yeah.
There's Ken. Yeah.
I know who you mean. I can't think of the name.
Pegasus.
Pegasus.
And hey, Ken, again. Where'd you go?
Hello.
Oh, there he
Well,
is.
hi, Ken.
Hi,
How are
Steve.
you? How are you?
Just
Yeah.
peachy.
There you go.
But Pegasus Hobbies, we got to go to their alternate Lima site, as I call it. They had Eric, 800, 1,000 kits right there in the store. Half of them hadn't even been priced yet. I mean, they had an old kit section that's bigger than the biggest hobby shop I can think of, other than that one. And then they like, hey, guys, you want to see something? Then we got to go to the bunker. Man, I know it sounds like I'm joking, but just envision the end of Indiana Jones, the Ark of the Covenant, when it's going to the government warehouse. Just use that as a mental image, but it's all boxes of models, vintage models. I found stuff there I didn't know anybody ever met. I found a virgin 6-pack Renwall arrow skins. And the only reason I didn't buy that, well, one, I had no way to transport it back without damaging it, because I knew I would bust the seal and build all 6 of them, which was, and so whatever I paid hundreds of dollars for it, it would immediately worth about 30 cents. But I was like, I didn't even know a place like this existed. And
John Ashley says they haven't seen Patrick paints in over 30 years.
That's what brought this up, was upstairs in the main store. He goes, let me show you something. And he brought up 2 perfectly virgin. I took pictures of them. They're on that video I did about 2 perfectly virgin 10 packs or 8 packs or whatever they were, Pactra paints. And I can still remember that distinct smell that Pactra paints had.
Dale Comer says we got a 4-headed live stream.
Yeah, we're the Hydra. We're half a Hydra.
The 4 horsemen of the model apocalypse.
The model lips, but it was. I mean, and Eric and I barely had time to scratch the surface. They also had old vintage wooden kits and a whole bunch of other stuff too. They had some store displays, and Larry didn't even know what a couple of things were. We can tell you what that is. But and that's,
well, you want to talk about store displays? We should just do a separate show about Phil Separano.
we need to have Phil on here at some point.
Yeah. Phil is the foremost collector of Aurora kits.
He's collected ones that were never made.
He has prototypes that nobody else has. And he has a video on YouTube about his collection. It's an hour and 45 minutes.
It's just a walkthrough. And you guys, if
It's
you
a
haven't seen
walkthrough.
it, it's going to be
That's
worth
how
your
much
time.
stuff he has.
You don't have to be an Aurora fan. So, Brian, what you got? What you got? I see everything with the tags behind you. Those have already been sold? If they got a tag on,
Yeah.
or is that just a price?
Yes. Yeah.
So tell us, since everybody's, what do we have? We got 79 people watching. By the way, you did your live stream of the day. You just do it on your cell phone. You twice as many people as I've ever had. I was like, oh yeah, he just walked through. But then you're selling stuff, so everybody got all the shots.
I had 368 at one point, is the highest I've seen it.
That's more than double that I've ever had. But hey, good on you, man. Great. So have you got any stuff there, not including the military stuff, unless you want to show, you got anything there that you're having trouble getting rid of that you want to point out, that maybe in case somebody is interested, or is it all just pretty much flying off the shelves?
There's something that I can't find a price on.
What is it? We give you an idea. Go get it.
These all are built up.
Well, those are
Oh,
$5.
the pyros. Yeah.
Can you see that?
Yeah,
Keeps,
that's
yeah,
nice.
yeah. The
Yeah.
TNT. Uh-huh.
I got 3 of these.
But you said they've already been built
Well,
or started.
okay, this one's still kind of in the plastic. I don't know if it's complete or not. I know 2 of them, I think 2 of them are built, but I can't find prices on these, but one of these is going to the museum. So.
Well, I guess would you give him a built one or an unbuilt? I would figure you'd want to give him a built one, or
He wants an unbuilt one.
oh, okay.
So I'm gonna work on that, but I cannot find prices on these whatsoever. I got 3 of them.
I'm just waiting for people to start giving their idea of the price. Okay, Heritage Con over 1,014, and the Nationals as many as 3,500 models on display. I'll tell you what, not the thing that was, and Ken was there and Steve was there. the thing about the Nationals that was so overwhelming, Ken, you can chime in on this. It's not only that there were so many models, is that virtually all of them were amazing builds. And it got to the point your brain kind of quit processing information. It was just overload.
Yeah, they were the creme de la creme. They were the stuff that you walk through the table and you go, yeah, I wouldn't put one of my kits on the table next to this.
That ship was really impressive too.
The what?
Yeah.
The ship, that 4 foot long ship.
Oh,
United States.
Yeah. And I'm not sure, but I think the ships might have impressed me more than anything single thing. But I tell you why. That these are the kinds of model ships that had every winch and chain and stay and sheet. I mean, it's not just the size, it was the level of perfection and detail, and just to paint something that big.
He's working on a
big Titanic.
I think it was.
So is Barry Steinlich, who's.
I mean, the thing is like 4 feet long.
Yeah, Barry's working on the smaller one, but he's just been drilling on and putting all the lights in.
And the amount of photo etch parts is insane. I mean, there's like hundreds of them.
Doesn't every porthole have one?
Yeah, and all the winches and it's like insane. He said this one section he was doing, and he said there were like 500 little parts. He says I could barely see them. Never mind put them on the kit.
And
the level of detail is just insane.
You know? I mean, when Jim Keeler's talking about it's overly detailed, that's like Einstein arguing, complaining about
saying the math is hard.
Yeah. And actually, supposedly Einstein made D's in algebra, but
well, it doesn't make me feel bad then.
Well, it's probably because it was so simple, it wasn't worth doing.
Yeah. Well, he used to joke. I mean, he used to say that it came to things that were mundane. He was very lazy about it, but because his brain was too busy operating on a level 5 levels above everyone else. But I still don't understand how. And never mind. Let's don't even get started on it. So, Ken, what was was that big United States? That was your favorite of the models you saw there?
That was my favorite ship. There were so many different kinds of models there. It's tough to just pick one and go, hey, wow, that's my favorite. I did find the model of I can't remember the name of the ship from the black hole.
Cygnus.
We saw that.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty cool.
I was going to say that was going to be the one I was about to bring up. But now understand that one was also at PamsCon, and Fran saw that there. That Cygnus is not only it's all hand. Well, I say hand. It was. I think he had to 3D print all the parts and everything, but he had to make all that lattice work and everything and light it. You saw it, Steve. I mean, that is not only a genuinely impressive build. I mean, genuinely impressive. It's also got to be very delicate. Just transporting it has to be a logistical nightmare.
My favorite kit was that 1/12 scale Gurney Eagle F1 Indy car, which I said, I should get this kit. And then when I looked it up, it was $1,200.
Oh.
And I said, no, I don't think I'll be getting that.
Well, you remember Cricket, Queen Bee, who some of her pictures come into the one of Sarah Jane's friends. She's working on a poker or poacher, however you say that. And she was showing all the parts to us, and I was kind of like, dear God, I'm getting dizzy just looking at all these pieces. Sparky, what's the Brian? I keep calling you Sparky. Yeah, sorry, it's like I'm using your stage name.
That's fine.
Hey, Sparky. God, there.
No, just fine.
It just reminded me of. Okay, super quick tangent. Back when I was flying in the turboprops, right, all hand flown, and we had this woman captain. I didn't fly with her, but my captain had when he was an FO, and she was a well-endowed lady and very lovely lady, and she's flying, and they're in bad weather to get bounced around, and bounced around. and
Mark couldn't help but
just and she's flying, and apparently, when he tells the story, she just goes, "How's it going, Sparky?"
enjoying the ride.
And he was like, "Oh, sorry." Yeah, I was like, busted. But anyway, Brian, what is? And I know I've seen your table. You build plenty of models, or at least when you have the time to. What is the worst model car you can remember building? I already know what
And
you're
you
gonna.
know
I already
what
know what
mine
you're
is.
gonna say.
Yeah, I can take a good guess on that one.
Yeah, you two are gonna be related on that one.
Yeah.
I
Have you
remember
built the big
starting.
NPC Firebird?
No, I'm not even sure the name of what company it was, but it was a Firestone Ford truck.
Really? Okay. That was that much trouble, huh?
The
It wasn't that it was that much trouble, but when I opened the box, there was so much flash on it. There was one sprue, you couldn't see anything through it. There's so much flash on it.
So
like,
no one told me you're supposed to
this-
close that thing
am I
before you inject it, huh?
I'm looking at it. I'm like, am I getting a test print? Like, what the hell is this? What?
Is that
And then
is that
more-
the F1? Is that the F-150, the tread with the white nose?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the AMT
That's the
kit.
brick nose one. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I started talking to other people about it. They're like, "Oh yeah, that kit's just horrible. There's just so much flash on it." Like, so it's like, from what I've been told, it's like almost every kit's bad.
Yeah. Hey, Sarah Jane.
I mean, you spend more time trimming flash off than anything, and I'm like, I don't care about. You see what kind of builds that I build? I build junk. Okay. So like, I don't care about like if something doesn't fit right, I'll make it work type of thing,
Mhm.
This thing, there's just so much flash on it. I was like, I quit. I went back in the box and I was just done. I just went on to the next one.
Sounds like me in the Revell Space Command Center. But that I did not have instructions for. Sarah Jane was saying that Cricket's working on that poker Lamborghini. It's got more parts than the real car, and she's adding more, some aftermarket kits.
See, the problem with poker kits are they're big or everything, but they're really just assembly kits.
Yeah, well, when you're assembling something that complicated, I mean, that's still, it's still model building. Even
Tell me about it. I did the Eagle Moss DB5.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, Fran, something that you see, cars. I like building cars, but I always get frustrated because I've built so many airplanes and tanks. I've kind of learned the tricks you pull to make things work. I haven't built enough. I mean, I've built a few dozen cars, but you're still in learning mode there. And I watch the modeling muse, and he just irks me no end because he makes these incredibly beautiful modifications look so easy, and they're so good when he's done. And I'm trying to repeat it, and I was like, this hacksaw's blades too. I mean, I'm like, there's no way this works. And he's so mild mannered about it, and I'm kind of like, Mr. Rogers builds cars, and I'm like, how can you make something this difficult look so easy?
You're talking about Doug White?
Yeah, the modeling muse.
Yeah, Doug White. Yeah.
Well, all you do is you cut out the fender well here, you cut this, you put that, you flip it around, you heat sink it back, you sand it down. I'm like, oh, crack it. What the? That doesn't work. That's I'm sorry.
It was like that. It was like that too, Steve Mignante.
Yeah. Well, first off, I don't know how they do things on their home planet, but here on Earth, we can't reshape things with our mind. I don't know what kind of witchcraft they're into, but and then you see Plasmo, who can do or Harvey Lowe, who can do these museum quality builds in an afternoon, and we need to get Harvey Lowe on the this, and I think Bill Campbell's going to see if he can get up with him, see if he'd like to. But they make it look so easy. Oh, I'll do that. And okay, one of these things is not like the other.
So when you do a car, I'm not talking about anything military, but when you're doing a car, like what's the average time it takes you to do one?
I have to measure in hours because I sometimes I'll only work like an hour a day, and sometimes I'll work all day. But I guess
Guesstimate how many hours you think
7 to 8 hours, not including like dry time and stuff, for glue and paint. But like normally I'll build the engine and transmission, and if it's like an orange block or something, I'll go ahead and paint it then because I'm not going to get into it afterwards. I don't usually really detail, except for my Hemi on the Polara. I don't really detail the engines that much because I tend to pose them with the hoods closed. I like the way the car looks, and my problem is always with that little spy car, the Piranha. Okay, I built that and I got it done, but I get everything built, and then you try to put the body on and it won't fit because the engine sits up too high. And I'm like, and then Steve's telling me, a lot of these kits you have to shave things down to get them to fit. They don't really fit that right out of the box. And I'm kind of like, I could have used that knowledge, 5 steps ago. And then the same thing happened with the Shelby Mustang. I was really happy with the Shelby Mustang was coming out, the one that was crushed in the great shelf collapse of. Hello.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, I'm not Deb.
That's my
Dad.
daughter.
Who are
That's
you?
his daughter.
It's my daughter, Kira.
Man, you keep the good stuff away.
The good stuff. Oh no, I didn't.
You keep her hidden.
Did you?
No, that's my. Oh yeah, whatever. I was picking up my bag.
Did you just call Ken's daughter the good stuff?
Yeah.
I'm married.
Well, me too.
Oh God! And then, Your Honor, is when they cancel. They cut the feed. Anyway, I get the Mustang done, and it's time to put the body on it. And it was looking really good. The interior looked nice. The body shell looked good. I had it all painted, and it won't. It's sitting. The front end sitting a 1/4 inch too high. And
Cut the cow.
And he goes, "Oh yeah, you got to trim the firewall down on that one." Again, information I would have been really helpful yesterday. So, and the other thing, like every new car modeler, I always have trouble getting it to sit on all 4 wheels.
He sure complains an awful lot, doesn't he?
No, these are problems a lot of model builders have, Ken.
See, the problem isn't how much time do you spend on one car. The problem is how many kits do you have in progress at one time, because when you got to a certain stage, you're waiting for this to dry. Well,
So
I'll
you
start
turn
on this one. And then you do that and you get to another one and you open another one. And then you got 6 kits that are all in different stages of not being finished.
And at the moment, I only have 3 kits. I have the little Jenny that's over here that's just a thing to tinker on here in the office, a little biplane, which is turning into a real nightmare. That Olymp kit. I've got the big B25 I'm working on, which has got all my attention, and I have the wooden ship, which I haven't touched in weeks, that Fran gave me, that because the B25 is just kind of become the center of my universe. So, and it's I was going to work on it today, but we had thunderstorms and everything. I was like, nope, not going out to the shed. I do not want my epitaph to read he should have stayed in the house. But
I think
that's motivation for you.
I think when I started selling the kits again, when I started selling the kits, I think I was down to about 22 models that was like incomplete, that was still sitting on the shelf. So
the worst I've had is about 13, I think, open at one time. But a lot of them were ones I just opened as sort of inventory and just started gluing stuff together and then set it aside. It almost doesn't count. But I do have.
Okay. So the F-150 Firestone pickup was your worst car kit. What was the best one?
Now I can answer that. I know what my best car kit was, and I don't count military vehicles. I put them in a separate category.
Anything Tamiya.
Yeah, it does do pretty good.
Probably anything Mobius.
Yeah, my best one was that Fleet Side pickup, which I forget who made this. Is that Monogram? Anyway, it's it just, I didn't have a single and I built that in the old TARDIS, the old shed, back in the old house. So that was several years ago.
The one that what's the name of that? It's sitting right there. The
Chevelle went together really nicely too.
the Supernatural
satellite.
67 Impala 4-door.
Oh,
That's a really, really nice kit.
I have that built. I actually have the box right there on the wall, and I have that one built. And that is the only car and the model of the Mustang that I got, also the convertible, because I had the Mustang convertible, which was one of those quick build kits that doesn't have an engine or anything. But
yeah,
those are the only two that are in our house on the table. They're actually on the coffee table under in the car display cases on the table. And a Glue Trooper sent me some 3D printed Sam and Dean with their weapons and everything that I painted up. Ooh. So I have them in front of it. And you're right, that was a trouble-free build.
You have a different one that's maybe over on the side or something.
Yeah, chrome in that kit is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I was very happy with that one.
That's better.
Which kind of dovetails with something we'll talk about later. And I've noticed that the engineering on modern kits, now of course we have computers and everything doing it and CNC machines. The engineering on some of these kits, including this B25 I'm working on, is just off the charts good. As many parts and as complex as the B25 is, I really haven't had much in the way of any fit issues. I think the fit issue I had with the fuselage halves on the bottom, something must have gotten in the way, because I had test fit it and it fit fine, but when I glued it together, for some reason it wanted to bulge out, so I'm not sure what happened, but I'm sure it's something I did. But I'm very happy with that kit. I can highly so far my primary complaint with HK models is, and you guys have heard me whine about this before, is that the injection gates are always on the face, the mating face. So once you clip it off, you have to sand it flat. It doesn't come in from underneath. It always goes, so if you have the fuselage halves, you're always going to miss that one little nub, and it won't seal. Crap, pulling apart and sanding it. I wish they wouldn't do that, but they do, so that's life, But that's not a huge deal. Just keep your sanding.
Hey, Steve.
Yes, Ken?
I sent this picture to Max earlier. He says he's seen it, but I'm really curious. This is a model kit.
Yeah, it's a who is it? It's a Fujimi kit.
The Bandai, I think.
What in the world inspired this thing?
I have no idea.
That's what inspired it. Japanese. You wouldn't believe some of the weird kits they have over in Japan that never make it here. Yeah. That's
not only does it
trust me, I've read enough. I've seen a few examples of anime. Yeah, it's actually got
the noodles and little shrimps that
I don't get it either.
On. And
that's a kit. That is a model kit.
Yeah,
that's all plastic.
Oh yeah, putting the layers of
maybe it's designed to be used as bait. Keep it like people diets.
And you gotta put all this stuff on the cup too. This doesn't come that way. This is all you gotta add all this detail on. And on top of that, the label on the top, you can't read it because most of it's in Japanese, but instead of the regular food warning, it's got warnings on there. Don't eat this. This is not real.
You think your taste buds will tell you that, but
feed to Godzilla if he appears. There we go. Let's see. What do we have? Okay, 31 minutes in.
And you're the one who did it this time.
31 minutes.
It's funny. Somebody sent me a thing of Godzilla stomping buildings as this time Godzilla attacks his 5th data center, and I was like, see, they are making a hero out of him. But
I just had to bring that up tonight, and I had to ask you about it, Steve, because I figure if anybody know anything about the inspiration behind
the Japanese, Eric's saying the Japanese even make model kits of model kits.
Japanese are in a whole different universe when they come up with what they want to make. I was just talking to Max before the show, and they have these small Godzilla figures. They have Godzilla, Ghidorah, all the main characters from the Godzilla movies, and they're in front of a podium bowing down, apologizing for the destruction that they've made.
Yeah.
And you get all of them and you line them up like they're, it's It's like crazy. First time I saw it, I couldn't stop laughing. I thought that was hysterical. You know how much one of those little things is with the podium? They're like $130.
By the way, go off topic here for just a second. This is a real photo from here in Florida. You know, a lot of people complaining about those flock cameras. This guy made the news. He took a pool skimmer and sat in front of a flock camera with it to pluck it.
I see that on Facebook.
And I'm like,
on Facebook.
I'm like, that's about as Florida man as Florida man. The only thing missing is an alligator. That just cracked me up. And apparently they couldn't cite him for anything because he wasn't breaking any laws.
Nope.
And
Nope.
but
meanwhile, you know, Ken points out the cup of noodles or whatever it was there. I mean,
Yeah, cup of noodles. Yeah.
there's been so many weird, you know, kits over the years of things. I mean,
you remember
What's
that?
the weirdest
You remember
thing
the
you come
ice
up
cream
with?
tricycle? The tricycle with the wheel and back and the two wheels up front.
yeah.
I mean, I actually had that kit and built it on my birthday, like it's 12 years old, because it was a model and I built, and God, it was on my shelf for years. But who
Look
just
at all
thought,
the kits that came
let's sell
out
an ice cream tricycle?
of the Stingray bikes.
That was where I was going to that and the 10 speed. I can almost understand the Stingray because we probably all had them. Brian, you ever Stingray?
I wanted one.
You
I didn't
ever
have one,
Stingray
but I
bicycle?
wanted one real bad.
Yeah, I had one. My brother and I each got identical Stingrays with a 3-speed. Man, we thought we were Peter Fonda and Easy Rider. But
Now, Cass Wayne, he just posted, and I've seen this kit. There's a Japanese kit of an injection molding machine, like they mold model kits out of. There's a model kit of that.
Models?
Yeah.
Does the model make models?
If it did, I'd send it to the boys in Atlanta so they could crank some stuff out quicker.
Well, Don Gilchrist sent me some pictures today. He found a structure that was made for to make the stage risers, to make the stage for Jimi Hendrix concert model. I'm like, what are we talking about here? I have no idea. This is a model, and he made a resin casting of it, and of the structure, and he made a bunch of them together and made a launch tower for a rocket out of it, which looked awesome, by the way. And I was kind of like, well, wait a minute. Get back to this Jimi Hendrix stage model. Where did this come from? You know, you kind of buried the lead on that one.
I have a model of the Space Needle in Seattle that they sold during the World's Fair when it was there in 1962.
In Seattle, yeah.
Have you ever seen the invisible, or what are they, invisible horses?
Yes. And the cow and the
cow,
dog.
the bird.
Yeah, we got like 3 of those out of a collection.
Yeah,
The
I
invisible
see
horse.
those. I was like, what in the hell is this? Like
Well, they
We
were
talked
trying
about that a few years ago.
They were trying to make educational models. You know,
well,
why
that's like
dissect
the
a frog
kits
when you
that
build a
Ravel
model?
made of the Dr. Seuss characters.
I gave the Snoopy to my sister-in-law, the hockey Snoopy playing hockey, and I've got Snoopy and the Red Baron in the shed, and they got that little motor that you just hit the prop and it turns, you stop it and it stops. Pretty cool little motor.
Those were over 1 million seller when they first came out in 1970.
A lot of the boys aren't making more of them because they still seem to sell.
Well, when I after I argued with them for 4 months and they finally agreed to do it because I got the Peanuts license. That was the best selling kit they had up to that point. You sold the heck out of those kits.
They needed another Godzilla too because they need to do that mold. You know the mold I'm talking about.
Yep.
And because I've got that one, and I'm like, you know, it needs a few little tweaks to fix a few. If the tongue is too small, but they'll sell another 3 million. Man, you slap Godzilla on anything, you're going to sell 3 million. And
now, see, that's when you should get Godzilla and package it with a Jeep, not just a Jeep with a cardboard
with the
Godzilla.
Cardboard, but that I know I'd buy 3 of them. One to build, one to for display, one to modify, and one to keep in the box. And
yeah,
What
here,
about-
Roy says, I remember building the working Rube Goldberg kits.
no.
I remember those kits.
So Brian, what
Mousetrap.
what models do you not have that you want? Because I'm sure you've got it most, but there's got to be still something that you haven't been able to track down yet, or you don't have.
Do you remember the historical kits from Eldon?
Mm-hmm.
They were like in a big window box, and one was like when the two railroads came together in Promontory Point.
They had
And
one
then
of the
they
lunar
had
landing.
the Wright brothers, and they had they had like 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah.
Those things, I haven't seen one of those in 30 years.
Oh, that's like when they had the like Planet of the Apes ship on a bottle kind of thing. It was like
Yeah.
a 8 village scene in a bottle.
That was Abe Shikes when he formed ADAR after he left Aurora.
After he left Aurora.
Wow, I was trying to be.
After Diker gave him the heave-ho.
I was trying to be nice about it.
Yeah.
But, you know.
So Brian, what model car do you not have that you want?
There's really nothing.
You
out
see, you
there
didn't study for the quiz.
Well, okay. 75 Monte Carlo, but they don't make one.
Well, you see, there's a hole in the, I can understand why it took them so long to make the Supernatural Impala.
I was told by somebody that I can have somebody make the file for about $300,
mm-hmm.
and then I can have it printed off.
Yeah, you just put it on an existing car,
Yeah.
Oh, do a 3D print of it, you mean?
Yeah. Which is what I'm probably going to end up doing.
You can't.
Well, I mean, now with the what's happened with the monster scenes, which they brought back, Dennis was able to. He hooked up with a factory over in China, and he had a complete set of kits, and sent it over there, and they 3D scanned them and cut new molds from the 3D scans.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how they made the kits.
Mm-hmm. That's actually,
and they're doing that with the prehistoric scenes too.
That's how Phil did it with the.
Yeah. And I keep telling Jim, you got the garage scenes. You're friends with Dennis.
Ta-da!
Have him bring him back. Sorry, Brian.
But
so you can have somebody scan a real one.
With that technology, there are no more kits you can't have because the molds were destroyed.
That's true. You could even have your 58 Country Squire.
That's true. 57.
57 Country Squire.
Close enough.
And, by the way, Eric, where did that picture come from? Was that build up? I sent it to Steve, and I didn't think about where it came from. All right, so
does anyone make a Grand National? Yeah. Monogram.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good kit too.
Yeah. I got to get off of here though.
Oh,
I got to
okay.
take the wife to the B-52.
She's got to go do the audition.
Well,
for
listen, tell her we're behind her. We want to see the tape.
Yeah.
Hey, Jill, get out here.
Hold on. I'm going to make us small and Sparky big so we can see a little better. Let's unpin.
Eric said it was off Facebook.
Oh, okay. Remove pin. Remove pin. Okay.
Are you coming?
She's getting ready for the gig. I mean, she's got to get ready.
I'm all done. I'm all ready.
You got
Look at this. Now, are we going to get the tape of the audition to play?
All right, now. All right, Brian. Now sing it. Now sing it.
A little love shack. Let's get a little love shack going on here.
Dad. All right.
Well, good luck.
Good luck.
When I get back,
storming the
you
castle.
still on here. I'll get back on.
Okay.
All right.
We'll be here.
All right.
We have nowhere else to go on Saturday
We
night.
have no life. Okay, add pin and add. Ooh, God.
Paul Adams, I would love to have Airfix redo the DB5. I've asked them where the mold is, and the answer I got is we don't know what happened to it.
Well, Airfix, as I understand it, is kind of in a situation right now.
Yes, they are.
fact, there was just a video about how some kit they put out really blew up on them, and then, well, like you said many times, Steve, you know, in this industry, you're one bad product away from insolvency.
You make the wrong move and it can be lights out.
Say good night, Gracie.
Steve,
Yes, Ken.
did you ever think about coming out with your own kit?
No.
Yeah,
Insane.
we've had that
Not even
discussion.
No. Uh-uh. Let somebody else have the blood and the sweat and the tears.
And there will be blood, and there will.
And there will be tears. I remember when I worked for Matchbox and we bought AMT. And they moved the entire facility from Michigan to Baltimore. And the reason they did that was so that they could ship internationally more easily because of the container port in Baltimore. And that was a whole learning curve from hell.
Oh, yeah. What was your takeaway from all that?
The takeaway was it was a good strategic move because Matchbox was starting to make their own kits. So it was good to expand the line. But I don't think that in the US, we didn't make anything. We were just sort of the distribution arm.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had to get into running the manufacturing facility. That was a learning curve because they would just order the stuff from England and it would show up and we'd sell it. You know, we'd do the marketing and all of that stuff and it worked really well. But when we bought AMT, we had to learn production schedules, you know, what to make, when to make it, how to make it, because there were a lot of existing molds. You know, like when Atlantis bought the molds from, you know, Hobbyco.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, luckily we had very talented and skilled people, so it was a little bit of a rough time, but not much long of a rough time, and we did a real good job selling it, so it helped out.
I have never heard anyone in the, didn't matter what you're manufacturing, but especially in the kit model business, that ever created a product that did not have just one series of horror stories after another. I don't think any model's ever been made where everything just went smoothly. And that brings us up to the next thing. I thought we would talk a little bit about new kits that are coming out in 2027 or supposedly this year also. And I put a little, okay, let me just, let me go back to, let me hop over here to number 1. Okay. Now, Anagrand, you know, does resin, but they're doing this Yak 141. This was basically the Russian answer to the Harrier, but it was supersonic capable. Apparently, it was a pretty good had potential to be a pretty good airplane. The Russians just ran out of money. This is after the wall came down. I don't know if too many or any kits of this thing, and it's kind of an obscure airplane. They only built a handful of them. They may have only flown the one, and it's 1/72nd scale, and it's not cheap because they're limited run resin kits. And I was like, okay, I can see that. You know, for a company like Anagram, not a big deal. But then I saw this one from a company called Answer that I've never heard of before. It's an obscure Polish pre-war airplane.
What's the question?
Hmm?
What's the question?
Who actually wants this model? I'm sure it'll do well in Poland, but I mean, don't get me wrong. It looks like a pretty cool little airplane. But as much as I know about airplanes, I think I've heard of this airplane maybe once, and I've never heard of the company Answer. And it's 1/48 scale, which is nice. I don't know how much of a market, but some of these companies, by the way, are in Singapore. Apparently, they're getting into the game. Now, this one is resin 3D printed. And this brings up something you were talking about earlier, you and Ken both. This is a 1/35th scale Cadillac gauge V200 armored car, scout car. and it says resin printed model by a company called Atelier Models. And I should have wrote down, I forget if they were in Singapore, but anyway, the thing about this is you don't keep any inventory. It's resin printed, so you can make them to order. And I realized, although for making 1 million kits, you still need injection molding, but for a specialty item like this, and you don't have to keep any inventory, you just keep the medium on file. That's actually, I have no idea how good the kit is, but it's an interesting business model.
Well, we discussed this, that if you didn't want to make an investment in cutting molds and having injection molding machines, it would be much more cost effective to get somebody that could do the program, and you can just sell 3D files.
Yeah, but they're selling the actual model. And Ken, how long does it take an industrial resin printer to make something that's got all these parts and this body and everything? Ken?
It depends. It could take hours, depending how big the file is.
Yeah, that's what I figure. So you're not going to crank them out very fast. It's going to make them expensive. That's the big drawback 3D printing.
Right,
but
that's the
that's
drawback,
now.
but that's
Yeah.
not what it's designed for. It's
Yeah.
not designed for production.
Designed for
It's designed
prototyping.
for doing anything one off.
Yeah. Now this one's from Edward, and I've noticed there's a trend pushing towards a larger scale, which we're going to talk about a little bit later. But apparently this is coming out either later this year or next year. And I've seen this model, this airplane model, but I don't know if I've seen it in 1/32 scale. And
But you know, there's a lot of 3D printed kits now
mhm.
that go for a reasonable amount of money. So somebody probably has a room full of 3D printers, and they're just cranking out, 100 a day or 200 a day, and that's what they're selling.
Well, Cass Wayne brings out a good point. He talked about how the V200, the little armored car, very popular vehicle, all kinds of different versions of it. And with a 3D printer, that means you can basically make a file for every version, every add-on feature, and people can, oh, I want this version. Oh, yeah, we can make that for you because, you're not having to worry about, stocking them and everything. So there's definitely a built-in advantage to it.
And it makes a little bit more of a sense nowadays because you're not having these 1 million runs of kits
Exactly.
like you did back in the old days. Now it's in the thousands.
Not to mention that the machine, if you're not making kits, you can use it to make other stuff unrelated to models.
Yeah, it's not like sitting there idle. You can always be using it to make something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, look at it this way. If you have a 3D printer, it's for a good 3D printer, it's $1,800, Ken?
Yeah.
It depends on how much effort you want you want to put into making it work well. If you want to get one of the lower end printers, they'll work just as well, but they're a little more finicky. You have to play with them more. If you want to spend 1,200 hours on a 4-color 3D printer that prints fast like a Bamboo, they're a lot easier to work with. But you got to spend a whole lot more money up front to get that.
Okay, but a molding machine's 200,000 and up.
Exactly.
Yeah, but a molding machine will crank a model out every 15 seconds, 20 seconds?
About a minute.
About a minute? Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, okay.
But
that makes a lot of difference.
But it's a lot of money to buy that molding machine.
But
and
you also can't make changes very easily. You can with a 3D printer. So,
I mean, they use a lot of power and a lot of water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Edward came up with this Focke-Wulf Dora, which is, believe it or not, that's not a Trey. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's not a radial engine. That's actually, I think, a Umo inverted V. It's just the reason the cowling is round like a radial engine has a circular radiator on it. But this was a I looked around. I didn't see any others in 1/32 scale. I could be wrong, but this is a standard it's from Edward. It's a standard styrene kit. Well, none of that weird styrene they use. But this is, I've noticed, like I say, they're pushing back towards 1/32 scale. Now, this is something that's supposed to come out next year from Edward, and it's a 1/48 scale. It's a 2-seat MIG trainer. And I guess this is one of the computer files they're using to pre-advertise it. But this gets back to what I was talking about, doing all this on computers instead of, guy cutting a pattern and, another guy making spending a year cutting on a lathe to make the mold. Once you get the file done, there's probably some place you can just download the design of the real airplane and feed it into this program, and it'll just design it for you, basically. But it gives you an idea of the level of, what's the word, of detail that is coming forward in these things now.
Well, it's like Rob put up about MCV products and VCG resins. Now, I bought stuff from them, engines and things like that to make a kit that I wanted, and I wanted a more accurate engine than the one that came with the kit. And wheels and tires. These things are just fantastic, and they're not that expensive.
No. Edward has got more new stuff coming out next year than most companies. I was surprised I didn't see anything from Dragon, but now they've got a 1/48 scale Stuka coming out, and I'm like, everybody and their brother has made a 1/48 scale Stuka, and I built the Academy 1/72 scale, and even the old monogram kit, there's nothing wrong with it. So I'm not exactly sure what made them feel like they needed to make another one, but it's, they went to the friggin', was that Imperial War Museum or where they have that one. I recognize that one with the tank on the cowling, painted on the cowling. Apparently they wanted to make it hyper accurate. So, we really are in a golden age of model building when guys are going to museum pieces and doing that to get them hyper accurate. Which is,
there's another advantage to 3D printing that you won't get with an injection machine, is that you can print it in any scale you want.
That's true.
That fits on the bed of the printer.
Yeah, and that's not a small thing. That means one file can make any scale, like you say, you can make them on multiple scales. This is, I'm not that into Gundam, but I did notice that this is proposed for next year. And it's the Gundam ZZ AMX 107 Bawu. And it says mechanical moving series, so I guess the parts on it articulate. But this is a resin cast kit, and it's one of the few Gundams I see that actually had a scale on it. But I'm pretty sure that is not going to, it's from Bandai, and I'm pretty sure that is not going to be cheap. Gundam is, God, they probably sell 30 Gundam kits for every, because younger people, a lot of fantasy fans, it has a much bigger following than people realize, and it's bigger than any regular kit model company. Bandai is printing money with their series of Gundams, and they're even taking over at Hobby Lobby.
Meanwhile, Gundam's like a whole separate. Oh, go ahead, Ken. Sorry.
I was going to say, my son-in-law here has several Gundam models. What was the name of that company, Kira, that was
Bandai?
Just went over to and bought Gundam models from? There's only one of these stores in the entire United States.
You're talking about Gundam USA in Daytona Beach?
It's in Chicago.
Gundam Station, not station, base, Gundam Base.
Gundam Base is the name of this. They decided to have a 1 week store or something like that.
2 weeks.
A 2 week store here in Orlando, and they have several rather rare kits that are hard to get, and they were able to pick up some really interesting stuff. And of course, none of this you have to glue together. It all just snaps together.
Yeah, well, the press fits.
Amazing.
And I built a few, and I built that one that Ricky sent me, that big one that Eduardo promptly confiscated that bad boy. It's the center of his display. But
Gundam is a whole separate subcategory in the hobby.
It is, and it's probably going to become the major one. So
I mean, they have that I did that video when I was on vacation in San Diego from the Gundam store out there.
It was impressive.
Because it's all about the base. It's all about the base.
All about the base.
No treble. And I couldn't believe the amount of stuff they had in that store. I mean, it was
It's
amazing.
impressive. So this is coming out next year from ICM, the 135th scale Burma Jeep. And I thought it was a British vehicle, but the steering wheel seems to be on the left side. So it says U.S. military vehicle. As much as I know about military vehicles, this isn't a new one on me. Or if I've seen it or knew about it, I forgot about it. I'm sure somebody out there knows more about it, but a pretty cool looking vehicle. I bet basically, truck, I guess, small truck, I guess. But this is the only thing I saw that ICM had. I think they have one or two other kits, but I was like, first I was like, what made them pick this as a model to make? And I was like, probably because they've made everything else. It's something new, and people will buy anything that's new. Revell's putting out a 124 scale fire truck, and I'm guessing by the name Mercedes-Benz, the scale Schlingmann. I guess that means German for firefighter. I don't know, but I think a 124 scale fire truck's going to be a pretty big model. But folks, well, I guess I've got a 124 scale tractor trailer semi here, so maybe not.
Max,
Huh?
can you at least turn your camera off or turn around when you do that?
Oh, you see, I got the picture up covering me on the internet. You guys are just gonna have to grin and bear it on Zoom.
There we go.
You do not want to know. Hey, Ken, is it gonna offend you if I do this?
Everybody's gonna be wondering what that was.
I know, that's why I said it. Oh God, what's he doing now? Hey,
oh, Max, no, not that, please.
And now Kenny's blind.
Spare us, please, spare us.
So anyway, but I don't know what made him pick a fire truck, but kind of cool.
They always have one or two weird things in the line every year.
Yeah.
There's, it just, I don't know.
They're planning on this is a project they're planning on for next year. It's a 1/32 scale Harrier, and which actually I think is awesome. I'm starting to really like 1/32 scale just because as I get older, it's easier to deal with a larger scale. And the Harrier in 1/32 scale would be a pretty cool model, and I hope everything on it fits. But like I say, you tell us a computer generated diagram, so or picture, so it's probably from their file. So hopefully everything will fit nicely.
No, JM, we are not road tripping up to the Nationals.
No, I looked at it and I was like, I've got other travel plans. Ken and I are doing a couple of trips, and my wife and I are doing a trip. I'm like, I just can't make it this year. Sorry, it's I just can't. Bummer. I really enjoyed last year. Maybe next year. But the sad part is Fort Wayne's pretty centrally located. So, anywho, apparently I didn't realize this, but according to what I saw, this kit came out this year from Tamiya, and I thought they made a Chaffee tank, but maybe not. They said that this was a new mold, unless they cut a new mold for the existing kit. No, this is a
no road trip food. Sorry, kit. Brian.
But
we are going to someplace in the East Coast.
We're going a couple of places, but
which we will keep you posted.
But
we'll also have all your numbers in case we need bail.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, you said you don't live that far from Scranton.
Yeah, there's going to be 4 of us together, and definitely we're going to probably cause problems somewhere.
Yeah, me and the Cartagena cops got history. What movie was that from?
Blues Brothers.
Nope, Cartagena cops.
Oh.
Now you'll think of it. You Scranton.
Yeah.
That's where the trains are at. Okay.
Hey, Scranton. How do
this
you
is-
know about Scranton?
You mentioned it.
I said,
No, I
I
didn't.
said,
He did.
I said,
Oh,
said,
he did.
yeah, I said, I was making a phone call. I said, hey, you guys said you live near Scranton. How about some bail money and a ride? And this is another large scale motorcycle that apparently, according to what I find, this just came out this year, the CB1000. I forget what the CB series stands for in Honda, but I remember seeing like a CB100 when I was a kid, and I wanted one so bad. I mean, the actual motorcycle. But this from a company called X Scale that I know nothing about is a 1/72nd scale BA Trident, and which was an interesting airplane. I'll try not to go off on a tangent about the airplane, but the Trident, of course,
Let's sit back, Ken.
yeah, was their answer to the 727, and one version of it had 5 engines because it had a little helper motor in the tail, you can see, but it also had an APU buried down in there. But the
A couple
Trident,
people got Romancing the Stone.
that's it, Romancing the Stone. That is correct. At the end, when he goes after the alligator, the crocodile that says the stone, he's like, I can't wait around here. Me and the Cartagena cops got history.
I remember that movie.
That was a great movie, and but the Trident was made specifically for like British European Airways to do their domestic stuff. It had to be a low cost, 3 engines and everything. But
Rob Altus says it was a copy of the 727.
no, it's a very different airplane. It had the same configuration, so that it might have been inspired by it. But trust me, those two things do not share a common bolt, nut, or rivet. And the thing about the Trident, though, was because it was made to be specifically for BEA, a hop around Europe regional airliner, it didn't have the range. Same thing that happened to the French Mercure, which looks just like a 737. They made it specifically for these short hauls and medium hauls, so it didn't have much range. So nobody else in the world was interested in it. And but this airplane was the first one to do full auto land in a commercial aircraft, and it developed that technology, which an updated version is basically what they use today. So it is, even though the airplane didn't sell that many, and I think it's a BA Trident that's all shot up at the old Cyprus airport. When they had their 71, they had their war breakout, and the airport fell in a no man's land, and the BA Trident was there that got shot up and couldn't be flown out, and I think it still sits there as a derelict today. The whole
Caswayne
airport's
says,
abandoned.
didn't the RAF get some Tridents for use as tankers? If I remember correctly,
I think
Airfix
those are
boxed the 144th
VC-10s.
kit.
I think they were VC-10s because I don't think the Trident had the lift ability. But the VC-10 has the 4 engines on the tail. It's a similar look, but a bigger airplane. And but this is a kit that's supposed to come out next year. I've got the Airfix model, and that was given to me by a glue trooper. But anyway, that should be out next year from X Scale. Don't know anything about that company. It again looks like a computer diagram of what they're using to make the model. But the now I got to quit doing what I was doing earlier because I got the picture taken down. They can see us. But that leads us into the next thing. I was noticing there has been a trend for a lot of the newer kits to be larger in scale, and I thought I would go over a few things that these are mostly airplanes, or may all be airplanes, but
Maybe that's to your earlier point that as you get older, your eyesight's not as good, so they figure our audience is getting older. Let's make bigger kits.
very well could be, Ken. And but that brings up the question: would one of you guys like? Would one of you guys like a 1/32nd scale B-24 Liberator?
Hanger from the ceiling.
You're gonna have to build a hangar in your backyard for it. I mean, we got to be talking 4'3.5", 4 foot wingspan.
Well, how about that guy there's some guy, I don't know where he is, but he just built, what is that thing?
It's
an
sold to the
Airbus
Ukrainians as drones.
He built this guy built an AS300 that you could put people in easily as a radio control airplane. It
I have
must have a wingspan of 40 feet.
I've seen some of these airliners, gigantic airliner bomber models that were bigger than some home builds. And what I'm worried about where that's concerned, these RC guys are concerned, is I'm not going to be shocked to learn one day that the government said, yeah, they're going to put a weight limit on RCs. Wouldn't shock me. But this would be an interesting build if you have a place to put it. And I thought the B-25 was a lot of airplane. And
I think it's better.
real estate agent, real estate agents are behind the push to 1/32 scale.
It's at John Travolta's house.
Yeah. And of course, there's the B-25. That's also a B-25J. It's just got the glass nose as opposed to the solid strafer nose. And we've been talking about that. But what is 643 millimeters in inches? Let me do a quick conversion.
Big.
What is what?
643 millimeters in inches.
About 2 feet.
25 and to just a little, 25.5. 2 foot, 1.5 inches. So I figure that means it's got to be at least a 3 foot wingspan on the B-24.
B-25, the Joe Don Baker of models in 1/32 scale.
Big and tough.
Put some electric motors on that and put a battery, you might be able to fly it.
Nah, you can't. Sure, they're way too heavy, but you might make a taxi. For a while, Monogram Pro modelers had the 1/32 scale Junkers JU-88, and again, a beast of a model. I mean, I've got a 148 one that I'm afraid to build. Actually, but good Lord, I forgot what I have. They have the big Hankel 111. I've seen a couple of these at the model shows. They're really nice models, though. I mean, I didn't have to build it. But for once, I made a Hankel big enough you can actually mask off the canopy without going blind. And that's the only thing that's horrible about these. You know, the Germans just love their framed glass, and it makes masking.
Yeah, it would be a little heavy, JM.
Yeah, I looked. I didn't see a 1/32 scale B-29 or B-36. That would be cool. Now, this is something I would actually be interested in getting, and this is coming out this year or next year. I think it came out this year from Das Werk, which means it's expensive because it's German. That's a 1/32 scale ME-262. Now, that's not new. 1/32 scale ME-262s have been around a long time. I think even Monogram made one. But my guess is this thing's, I'm just guessing, this thing's probably packed with photo etch and all kinds of, complex details and stuff.
You had a 1/12 scale.
What?
You had a 1/12 scale.
Oh, the RC, yeah. Yeah, flew the heck out of that thing.
You sure did.
That's one way to put it.
Rolled it over and cracked the wing.
Oh, I did worse than that. Then there's, of course, I have seen one of these also, 1/32 scale B-17. Again, about a 3 foot wingspan. This is another one by HK Models. And,
But gee, I guess they're not coming out with any cars next year.
I don't know. I didn't see, but anyway, just that there just seems to be a trend. A lot of these are newer kits. There just seems to be a trend towards the newer models being larger in scale. And did someone make a 1/24?
1/24th 262?
That I'm aware of, but
1/24th, that's an odd scale, isn't it?
Well, they made a few airplanes that way.
Maybe small ones.
Let's see. Hold on, yeah.
That would be a good
Combat
scale for
Models
something
makes one.
like a
Combat Models makes 2 of them.
That would be a good scale for a small civilian aviation craft.
Yeah. Well, Combat Models, it says here, they don't have any pictures, but it says they made the single-seater and the 2-seater night fighter. See if I can find a picture. Images. Arma Hobby. That's 170. No.
B-36 and 1/24th. Buy a new house.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Max has got room in his living room to hang something like that.
Yeah, myself. If she,
And,
my
and
wife
he
catches.
can, and Monica will hang him right next
That's
to it. if you
exactly
want.
where I was going. Yeah. Okay, I don't have any pictures of the just their logo. I don't have any pictures of the combat models airplane. I don't even know if they put it out yet or not, or if it's something planned.
1/24 scale Mosquito. Wow.
Oh, why not just make a 1/24 scale C5? You can live in it.
Put the family cat in it, fly it around.
Well, here's a 133 scale. That's a weird scale. I think it might be some sort of 130 sales. A 133 scale ME262. I think. Oh, that's a paper model. I thought the nose looked a little funky on it. But there's a whole bunch of 132nd scale ME262s actually. Well, not a whole bunch, but there's a few. There's even a 135 scale one by LTID models.
Wow, in wood. A 1/24 B-36 in wood.
God. Okay, static model kits. I'm showing 37 various kits. Frog made a 132nd scale in 1973.
Copperhead Modeling says they make a 1/24 C5. It is remote.
Wow, yeah, that's you're into RCs at that point. A lot of 132nd. Hasegawa makes a 132nd scale ME262. Revell makes one. Frog made one. Most of these are Revell. Oh, that's right. I remember that box art, that Linwood box art now. Yeah. Let's see. Trumpeter makes one. So, yeah, there's several manufacturers that make it a 132nd scale. Revell, Hasegawa, Revell Japan, Trumpeter, Keekler, Frog, Lidella, Doswerk, and Minicraft Hasegawa. So, yeah, that actually make a nice model to display. ME262 is it's like the Mustang or the Spitfire. They just have very flowing lines. So we'll say if it looks right, it flies right. Let's see. Is there a company making aircraft in 135? Yes, there is. That Sky Crane helicopter I built was 135th scale. Some people are moving to 135th scale for the helicopters and a few aircraft to go with the armored vehicles. And since you mentioned that, let me put 9,000 static model kits. 360 aircraft in 135th scale. Let's see. Including UAV. They're now making 135th scale models of UAVs. Yep, mostly helicopters. Because and Bronco is making a 135th scale Horsa glider. So that will go with because these are made to go with 135th scale armored vehicles. A lot of drones. So more helicopters in 135th scale. Helicopters. Wow, there's a lot of 135th scale helicopters. Hueys, Cobras, Kiowa Warriors.
says Border is making 135th scale aircraft.
Okay. Wow, everybody and their brother makes the Apache. Oh my God. I just got the perfect helicopter to go with the Sky Crane. A 135th scale Chinook. Oh, they got Guns Go-Go. Oh, yeah, baby. They got the armored Chinook, the HC-47A, Guns Go-Go. That one, I don't know. I mean, Guns Go-Go was a program. Yep, that would go. Oh, that would go perfectly as a companion piece since I've got the big daisy cutter on the Sky Crane. Oh, my God, that would be awesome. Oh, here we go. Just came out last year, a 135th scale Curtiss Helldiver. Broncos put out a German tactical assault glider. More helicopters. Oh, 1/35th scale Fusilier Stork from Hobby Boss. And TriStar, never heard of them. Sometimes these factories are just the same kits, remarketed. Oh, 1/35th scale Focke-Wulf 190. The Treibflügel.
Oh, by the way, somebody just came out with a radio controlled TBM.
Ah. Oh, somebody just 1/35th scale Stuka. They got the G1, G2, and the D5. Ukrainian, man, they are making a bunch of models of unmanned, unpiloted vehicles. Oh, Nashimo made a 150 scale Shinden, the George. Dogfighter models, 135 LA9. Messerschmitt 109. Oh, you have got to be kidding me. Trumpeter is making a 1/35th scale Gigant.
What is that?
The Yumi 323. The gigantic
Transporter.
oversized glider the Germans put 6 engines on.
Was that their attempt to create a transoceanic bomber?
No, it was their attempt to put engines on a glider so it could fly without, because towing it was too dangerous. So it could power itself and use it as a transport. Here, I'll show you a picture.
Where's the C5A of World War II?
Kinda, in a way, want to be, yeah. And the RAF caught them over the Mediterranean and massacred them.
Hey, Max, what scale was that Shinden that you got?
The one I bought at that Brett's building for me. That was
Yeah.
that was 1/48 scale.
Apparently, they make a 132nd.
They make
also.
1/32nd, but it was like $150 or something. Where is it? Here we go. I'm going to show you a picture. All right, it'll be to you shortly. This is the Gigant, and it is an enormous airplane by World War II standards and a pretty good size one by today's standards. And they got it in 1/35th scale.
Coswayne says, no, the ME-323 was the German attempt to make an easier target for P-40s to shoot down.
Fifth scale ME-323. Okay, Ken, you ready for this? The
What?
wingspan is approximately 5'8".
You could fly that. That is RC
Ride it,
size.
never mind fly it.
Yeah. Well, except that it'd be too heavy. Where on
That's an
God?
RC size plane.
Now, if you're going to buy this, okay, you got to get a couple of 1/35th scale P-40s to shoot it down. I got the perfect way to make a diagram of this airplane that won't eat up much space at all. You get the kit, you saw off a wingtip, you make yourself a little plaque of the Mediterranean, and just stick the wingtip sticking out of it.
And just crush up the rest of it and throw it in the water. Debris.
I'll tell you how you display a model like that. You build the fuselage, and you put that on your shelf as a display, and then you put the wings like that above it. And then you put where you take it out and stop yawning, Steve. Then you have where you take it out and slide the wings on for display, and then store it up on the shelf with the wings removed, because that's the only way you're going to do that. And it was made of 6
Childek likes your idea.
Yeah. And according to what I've read by the guys who flew the thing that survived the war, which ain't many, it was a nightmare fly. Very heavy controls. And I don't think anything on it was boosted. Remember, it was based on a glider, so it was basically considered a one-way airplane. And they were so desperate to get to, that's why Malta, if I remember correctly, I think that's why Malta was such an important target, because they took Crete. The Germans took Crete. They couldn't take Malta. And they took Crete at enormous cost, about wiped out their airborne units. but they're Fallschirmjägers. But they couldn't take Malta, and the British were barely able to keep it resupplied. It was basically an unsinkable aircraft carrier. So any shipping, anything they want to feed the Africa Corps had to go through a wall of British fighters, and they had some particularly aggressive fighter pilots out there too. So
Pam says like flying an oversized Piper Cherokee.
but what was that guy? They had a Burnham, something like that. They had a famous fighter pilot, shot a bunch of them down. They made the mistake of sending on like a bond raising tour. The guy was like a 20-something-year-old. I think he was an Australian or New Zealander. And he was just telling people about combat the way it was. He wasn't doing the cheers and smiles. He's like, oh, I blasted these guys and I saw this guy's head explode and all this other stuff, he just talked about the horrors of war, the way he saw them. And of course, ladies are fainting in their seats and everything. And they're like, yeah, just get him out of here and put him back in combat. Burling, that was his name. Thank you. Buzz Burling. He died only about a year after the war. I think they said he was flying, I think it was an old Nordun Norseman, which is like a big Goldwing. It's a big single engine, like de Havilland Beaver. And if I remember, he was going to Israel, he was flying supplies in Israel, and the plane blew up. And I was like, yeah, what you're telling me is he was probably carrying weapons and something on board went off. Or somebody put a bomb on it. But I think it was 46. He didn't live long after the war. He's a young guy. But it's funny, as a kid growing up, I worshiped these guys, and they were definitely brave. But you get older, you start reading the books that they write and everything, you realize that this was, we love airplanes and we love all this stuff and we respect these guys, but this was not a fun time. Exciting, that's for sure. And I've heard it said that one of the best things that happened to the greatest generation was the war, for a lot of reasons. I mean, a lot of them died, but they grew up with purpose. And one of the benefits of the Cold War and the boomers was, we had a purpose. Stop communism, And one of the worst things that's happened in the last 20 years is, because that's one reason we're all building models and stuff, and they now everybody's so safe. A lot of kids grow up, they don't have a purpose. They go find one. And I think if kids were building models at a young age and learning to get an interest in this stuff and what it was all about, it kind of stuns me when somebody who's in their mid-20s, and I'm not joking here, and I get it, it's product of our education. Some girl in her mid-20s just goes, what was World War II? And I'm like, God, if you got about 4 hours, yeah.
My good friend has a small company, and he calls me up one day in a panic because one of the young kids, who's about 20 years old, my friend made a John Wayne reference, and the kid said to him, "Who's John Wayne?"
Who's John Wayne?
And he was unhinged. And I said to him, look, I said, the kid's 20. John Wayne died in 79. So, give it a rest, okay?
Well, I think that pretty much covers everything that I had. Did you guys have anything particular model related before we go off into tangent land?
I think everybody's going to create models of those the drones that they're shooting at each other over there in the Mideast.
Absolutely, Ken. I was just looking at a whole list of them. When I was doing those 135 stuff, a quarter of them were nothing but drones. And Ken, why make models of the drones they're using? Half the kids at home are probably learning how to convert their own. But we won the Cold War now. But yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Kuda Killa. Yeah, I wasn't going to say it. You guys can read Kuda Killa's comment. It about sums it up. I actually think, yeah, we all see the world from our own perspective, our own little bubble. But I don't know. Maybe humans aren't really designed to live such easy protected lives. You know, the amygdala response. You know, fight or flight. But I learned so much about building models, and then that it. I don't know if I built models because I'm interested in the subject, or if I developed an interest in the subject because of models. I think it was both. Of course, my older brother was in that stuff, and you know, his kids are influenced by their older brother some, and but
Now, that is one of the interesting aspects of building models is that in building it, you learn a lot about the subject matter.
oh yeah, I've learned. I have learned so much about the B25J just building this model. Oh, there is one thing. I made a mistake. That's hardly a shocking announcement.
What?
I
How can
had
that be?
Wait, write this down, Ken.
oh,
Somebody
please.
record this moment.
Me making a mistake. That's like Tuesday. Let me see if I can find the picture real quick. Okay, image. Oh God, I had put these two B25s from the Apaches together, and said that okay, you can see how it's painted this way in one picture and painted different in another picture. I guess it was repainted. And Eric pointed out that I don't think that's the same airplane; it's just the same squadron. So apparently, you know, I kind of made an error on that one. Let's see. When what am I for? I'm looking for users.
No, Godzilla got mentioned earlier.
Oh yeah, we got Godzilla up there
719,
for
Stuart,
yeah.
pay attention.
Yeah, you're missing. That's what you get for stepping away from staff meetings. Let's see. Documents. Good God, you go those snapshots.
Isn't Tuesday when the tractor beam is supposed to be installed?
Here it is. Ah, found it on the first try.
What are you looking for?
Open. A picture that okay. File. Save as JPEG. Let's go L2. God, you got to do a lot of button clicks to.
Well, Dad says, well, about one good thing about building drone models is you don't have to mask off a cockpit.
I didn't think about that. Good point. Okay. Okay, there it is. Okay. This picture I used the other day in a video talking about how the stripes were different. And I thought because the one on top has stripes, those stripes behind the Falcon's head are shaped like they are on the box art and the decals that I got. And the one on the bottom is the actual airplane 115 or 28 115 built in 1943, as you can tell by the 43 beginning of the number. I thought that the one on top and the one on bottom were the same planes. I figured I'd said they'd probably repainted the stripes at some point. No, they're different airplanes probably. You can't really read the number on the other one, but so like I say, although I'm not, you know, busting their chops about this, I think they use the museum plane at in Mobile or you know at USS Alabama as their basis, I guess, or maybe they just got confused, or maybe there's more information out there that I don't have, which is distinctly possible. But and I'm not anything I'm going to lose sleep over. Also, I noticed that there's a gap on the top where the olive drab is at. I thought it was a glare shield. It's actually just the Falcon's head doesn't go over the whole thing. And I was like, well, that's not what they were showing, I think, in the instruction sheet, but maybe that was supposed to be there. But okay, you know, it's not a big deal. It's a model airplane. It's just, you know, some of us are accurate. Well, I hardly consider myself an accuracy freak, but you know what I mean. We're trying to get it right. So I think I was wrong on that. So confession made. Oh, one other thing. every one of these B-25s in that squadron that I've been able to find the photo if you look at the windshield on the captain's side, only on the aircraft commander side, the bottom half of the window is blacked out. I don't know if that's a little piece of armor plate or if it's just paint, but some of the B-25s have wraparound windshields, but a lot of them have this, and that segment's covered over on it. I don't know what the story is on that. But you see what I'm talking about in the what would be the quarter window for the pilot. Hello, Ken, Steve.
Yes.
You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no.
On the truck?
On the B-25's windshield.
I
Or
see
not
a
really,
truck.
Plate up in the front.
up in the front.
Yeah.
In the cockpit.
Yeah.
You'll notice part of that quarter window is either armor plated or painted over or sheet metal. And I found a picture of all of them lined up. Every plane in the squadron had that. And some B-25s have wrap-on windshields. These didn't. And I don't know what the story was on that.
Oh, I see what you're talking about now.
Yeah. But anyway, I'll probably go and dab a little paint over it just to keep it consistent. But I'm not worried about it. What I'm getting at
Do you
is
have other
exactly.
pictures of the plane with that blacked out like that?
What's that? What?
Do you have any other pictures of the plane with that blocked out like that?
I think I do. Let me see. Okay, we'll go back. You know what? You know what? This might be easier. And Sparky's back.
Hey, there he is.
Let me just look images.
Yeah, we see you.
Okay.
He's back.
Yep, back.
Oh, here we go. Perfect picture. Copy image. This is of the actual airplane. Oh crap. Okay. Yeah, I used the box art. This is okay. Hold on. Let me just.
Max is trying to figure out why there's a black blocked out piece on the B-25's windshield on the side.
File, save as.
Maybe they broke the window, didn't have any glass.
No, it's on all the airplanes in the squadron. Okay, let's browse. Window. Okay, and here we go. And I think the decal was supposed to start there and go down to the. You see the way if the box art showed it being the whole thing being yellow, but this doesn't. Of course, I'm sure. I don't know.
Well, now that Brian's back, we can talk about cars again.
HK models B-25J.
So did you get it all
Okay.
situated for the big?
Yeah,
review?
so it's about 12 to 15 minutes one way to take her.
Mm-hmm.
So 15 minutes one way, 15 minutes back, right?
Mm-hmm.
I get all the way back to the driveway and the phone's ringing. I'm like,
What'd you forget?
what happened? So I called her. She's like, I need cash.
They're making her pay for her audition.
And she told me this when we left, and I'm like, yeah, I'll give it to you when we get there. And then I never gave it to her. I'm like,
Yeah, because you're the first husband to ever pull that stunt.
like there's 7 people there. You can't get cash from somebody. She's like, I need cash. I'm like, oh my god. So I had to go back.
Okay, now you see, this is the way I painted the airplane. The way you see it here, with a solid yellow nose and solid green. I didn't make it with the olive drab top, so maybe it's a different airplane with a different paint scheme. The and I got red and white stripes on the. You know what? I am good. I am putting way too much effort into this.
Well, it's got in this box art, it looks like it has that little plate on the windshield.
It does, and so I just wondering what that was about. But and maybe this made them that way. Maybe that's just a frame. Then might have had problems with the crack.
Maybe the instrument panel goes over there.
Could be a piece of instrumentation or something. Hell, it may just done it to save clear part. Who knows? Anyway, you look. All this friggin' rabbit hole was just talking about how building models expands your knowledge of stuff because you tend to get
Or makes you crazy.
Yeah, I had a head start on that one,
Doesn't hurt.
and a little crazy never hurts.
That's right.
See, you know, I think that everybody's shop where they build their kits should have at least one solid wall.
Okay.
Just in case it really frays your nerves, you know what to do with it.
I refer to that as the smashing wall.
Celebrating says, Max, it's an additional piece of armor plate.
That makes sense. I suspected that's might be what it was. And given that they had a lot of course, you know what? It's only on the captain's side because we know who's important.
You sure it's only on that side? It looked like it was on the other side too, in the museum.
You couldn't see the other side. Let me in the museum. Yeah, you can only see that side in the museum. But
You can see just a little bit of it on the other side.
I think that's the frame from the other side top, but whatever. Well, Ken will just have to go over to the USS Alabama and Mobile and see for ourselves.
So, Brian, when are
Yes.
you going to have your next sell-off video?
Yeah.
It's up right now.
It's up right. Oh, crap. What are we doing with here?
I was kind of wondering the same thing, you know, but
It dropped at 6:30.
Oh.
It dropped at 6:30.
Meanwhile, you want to tell some of the Gloop troopers it's the best way
Steven
to
all of a sudden loses his connection.
we'll be chatting with you in your
run
phone.
into
Start
the
ding,
TV and,
ding,
play
ding,
up
ding.
and then send them a picture and have them
Look at
say,
him.
oh, yeah, it's gone. That one's gone.
Hey, you know what would really be cool? Right now, if every Glue Trooper brought up Sparky's channel and started ordering models from him in real time.
Well, when I started this live, I was at 0 message. I have 43 now.
David, will you get him off the camera? I got that model before somebody else gets it.
Actually, there was, if you were reading the comments, there was actually one person on here earlier that said, I'm sorry, I'm back now. I got interrupted by the notification. Sparky just dropped the video.
You guys know you can watch 2 videos at one time on YouTube. Provided you have more than a 386 computer.
Guys. Good night. We'll see you in the morning. We'll do some fun stuff, huh? Yes. Yep.
Good night. Good to see
Good
you.
night.
That was my grandson.
Yeah, it's Dean. He's a good kid.
Had to go say goodnight to the grandson. Tomorrow
Absolutely.
we're gonna do something really special. I ordered it's a circuit board kit that you can make a video game out of,
Mm-hmm.
and we're gonna solder the whole thing together, and then he can play with it. Kind of like it does like 7 different games, including Tetris, so he can play with it after we're done putting it together. I wish I had a grandfather like me when I was that age.
Ken, we all wish we had a grandfather like you because you'll believe anything.
Oh,
I didn't do it. Swear to God, Dad, I didn't do it.
isn't that what grandparents are for? Spoil the
You
child.
better believe it.
And then give them back.
And then give them back when we're done. That's right. That's what we do.
Okay.
That's exactly what my ex says about our kids when they start having kids. Like, oh, yeah, it'll be nice, but we can just take them when we want and be like, no, okay, we're done. Take it back. Take it back.
That's right. Oh, diaper's dirty. Here you go.
Yep.
You wanted to reproduce.
Now, we're not worried about grandkids. I used to take him when he was little and stand in front of a microwave every day for 30 seconds.
Oh, Steve, don't you really think you'd like to have a grandchild?
Absolutely not.
Not.
I don't want to have a kid. Why would I want a grandkid?
Totally different thing.
you see the comments right now?
Ready to check out, Brian.
I had an uncle like Ken. Wasn't RC planes and HO trains. I still have some of his treasures. Oh yeah, that's just two of my hobbies.
I can just envision
when my kid was born. Okay, my wife was a nurse, and we were at the hospital where she worked, and they had like this birthing room that was like a regular sort of room. It wasn't like a hospital room, and the bed breaks away when they're about to deliver the baby. So I didn't want to be in the room. I was in there, and then all of a sudden things happened. They broke the bed away, and I got trapped in the corner.
you will watch whether you want to or not.
So now he's born, and they clean him up, and they give him to my wife, and she's holding him. And the nurse goes, "What do you have to say about that? Aren't you happy?" I said, "There goes my Porsche." Well, I thought they were going to kill me. Okay.
They did have a plan.
These three nurses, I thought they were going to. Luckily, they didn't have scalpels available. It would have been over for me.
I'm envisioning this as Steve's, grown-up talk when his son comes to old enough to understand. Listen, you are an accident. I never wanted you to begin with. Okay, this is just to keep your mom happy. I brought you in this world. I can take you out, so you better behave. I'll make another one. Looks what does Cosby said? I'll make another one look just like you.
That was pretty much it.
Yeah, I remember that.
If you ever call me from a Tijuana jail, you better. And you know what? I ain't gonna take that one any further. Oh, God.
Yeah, it's like I've told them on many instances.
I'm at
When
sable
you
level for my
switched at
stash.
birth,
What? Well, you have to understand, Fran, you like having grandchildren because you're a normal, well-adjusted human being. Steve is Steve.
yeah, that's right.
He's a New Yorker. What more can I say?
I grew up in Greenwich Village. What do you want from me?
Your collection once you die. But that's the problem with having a stash, the stash becomes trash. And
what are you kidding? He comes down and I'll be down there and he'll just stand there and look around and go, "Yep, when you're dead, it's all going on eBay."
Be honest, I'm kind of surprised he's waiting for you to die. I'm surprised you don't go down and find models missing and find them back on eBay.
I'll buy it from him.
Here you go. I'll give you your card. Well, you know what I would do if I knew I was dying? I'd just sell it to you so he wouldn't get his hands on it to sell
Hold
it.
on, Steve. Yeah.
You know what? I've had
yeah,
two
you got
people
burned.
now do that. I've had two people now
Okay.
do that.
Point Sparky.
Because he has
had
no
one guy-
idea he has no idea what any of it's worth. None
I
whatsoever.
had one guy in Wisconsin that literally stood there with his family and told me, if I don't sell it to you, all my family's just gonna throw it away.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Yeah, we don't want it." Like, and then I hand him the money. They're like, "Really?" Like, he's like, "Yeah, you're not getting any of it. You never wanted it." So, screw you.
Actually, though, I'm of that same mold. I would rather, when my time comes, I would rather my wife. I mean, if she can eBay them and people buy them, make a few bucks, that's great. But if there's somebody who would give them a home and everything, please, it's like Kurt, who just sent me these models from the unboxing video I did earlier today. got hundreds of models. Here's a few that, you know, and they're,
There's a lot of comments on here about being grandparents. Not great.
oh, well, I'm not a grandparent, and I doubt I'm going to be, but
I have a dog. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
That's
biggest
if you
difference
became a
between having a
grandparent,
dog,
that would be life altering for everybody.
the really, when you get right down to it, the big difference between having a dog and a kid is the penalty for letting one of them die. It's just,
The dog doesn't talk back.
first off, he can't testify against you.
Right.
And if they do prove you did something to them, so what? 6 months top end? Community service.
Max, you got totally the wrong idea about this. Grandparent is the best part of having.
I'm not
a
talking
kid
about grandkids.
without
I'm
any
talking
of
about the
bad
kids.
parts.
Huh?
Being a grandparent is the best part about having a kid without having any of the bad parts.
Oh,
because
yeah.
all the bad part, you just give back to the parent. They
Yeah,
take care
they
of it.
pop a nuclear burrito and you're just here. It's your problem.
Exactly.
You know, when you get right down to it, the grandparents are a national resource. Think about the billions of dollars a year in childcare that grandparents provide for lunch.
And far better than any place you could put them.
Yeah, they actually have a vested interest and care about the kid. And that's
My grandkids are the canine variety. There you go, Steve.
you know, the old adage, everybody screaming about, you know, we need government health care or government child care. And I'm like, you know, the old adage, if you think health care is expensive now, wait till it's free. Same thing would go with child care. I mean, if the government, you know, we have a government, you know, take care of your child while you're at work. And I'm kind of like, what could possibly go wrong?
They become socialists.
No, I'd be worried about. So I'm going to have this minimum wage government employee watching my kid whose qualifications were they passed the drug test.
I came back in.
Well, you know, I've told you the story about my son says that what's going on in the country is our generation's fault.
Yeah, well, it is.
And I said to him, and how do you justify that? He says, well, you know, he said, if all you guys in the 60s and 70s would have killed all those hippies that went on to be college professors and taught these kids how to hate their country, we wouldn't be in this spot. And I said,
Careful, Family Channel.
What?
Careful, Family Channel.
I understand. I said, that's a very good point. I said, but you have to understand. I said, we didn't want to kill them. I said, because we were having a lot of fun with their girlfriends.
Yeah.
And at that point, he said, I'm leaving.
Well, the thing is that I figure the way to, you know, back in the 60s or even the 70s, the way to pick up, if you want to pick up a girl's dating a hippie was just go, you do realize he's never going to find a decent job. You know, I'll be middle management by the end of next year. But, you know, the tragedy of a lot of this is that you can tell a lot about a society by what they do for entertainment, recreation, sports, you know, athletics, you know, working on cars, building models, boating, you know, golfing. You know, people are out there doing things. Today, what's the number? And I'm as guilty of anybody else. What's the number one activity for sport? What's on Instagram? You know, being in it, just, you know, 8-year-olds with carpal tunnel. The AI is like, all I have to do is wait and lie.
Yeah. It's like,
I was doing a thing. I was actually doing some research for
I'm
one of the videos, and we were talking about the Baba Black Sheep. Of course.
Hang on a second, JM. No, boating is not dangerous. Except for my wife, maybe. She fell
Well,
off,
you don't know how to
fell
swim.
off the boat trying to get onto the dock and hurt herself. But it's not dangerous. She just can't see.
It just happened to be on the part of the boat where he was fixing the lights and they went out one night.
Well, Eric has a good point. You know, that half the models we build be considered some sort of hate crime. I'd gotten my first RC tank, my first real one, a Tegan Tiger, and I made a 3-minute video of it driving around and firing its cannon and his little red light flashing machine gun. And it was on YouTube for about a year, and then all of a sudden it got pulled down for hate crime or violence violation because of a toy tank with a little flashing red light that makes a pap 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 noise. And I'm like, that violated their violence policy. And as most of you remember, Brian, this is before your before your time here, but we had an entire YouTube live stream, what we're doing right now, taken down in real time because we were doing it from the hobby shop, and Ian wanted to show everybody his new boomstick, and he came out and, hey, look what I got. And they killed it just like that. We didn't realize you're not allowed to fondle boomsticks, firearms on a live stream, and I was like, violates their policies. Oops. So
Hey, when I
10 years.
worked for Buddy L,
My PR, which
we
is
had
30
these-
hey, Ken, everything she's saying is carrying over. You want to mute your mic?
It's a half.
The whole world
Ken,
is hearing her
you.
plans.
Ken,
Okay.
when I worked for Buddy L, we had these battery operated water guns that looked like machine guns.
Like super soakers or something.
These were a little bit better, and they had a removable clip, and that's where the water went.
Oh, I remember those.
Okay. And when we went to the toy show in Nuremberg, the German government went around and policed what everybody had in their booth. They made us take them down. They wouldn't let us show them because they looked too much like real guns.
Oh yeah. And well, the Germans are still, trying to fight off that whole, post-war wartime image, but and they've gone kind of into overdrive about it. But I remember, I really appreciate the days when toys taught you how to do mag swaps and
Hey, look at that Gilbert nuclear power plant.
Oh, greatest toy ever. They actually
let's give your kid a nugget of uranium-235 and let him see what he could do with it.
They actually had about a 3/4 size plastic water pistol, the 45 automatic, that was painted black with brown grips. That came with magazines that had water in them and had a straw sticking in the handle. And when you ran out, you had to do a mag swap and go to the other mag. It only came with 2 mags though. But man, we would just sit there and squirt the water just so we could do the mag swap. That's how we got to be so fast at it. I was waiting for the Boy Scouts to come out with a century removal merit badge or landmine detection. I was like, that's what merit badges I wanted. But I think about it. Scouting teaches you land navigation, survival skills, and it's a great. My time in the Scouts was great, and I actually do feel sorry in a lot of ways. The kids that are growing up today will have their own 20, 30 years from now. The few of them that are having kids will, I don't know what kind of world they're going to grow up in. I really think all of us, if you're watching this video right now, you're one of the people that caught the Overton window and the best time to be born and raised in America.
No, go later.
Or Canada or, just about any place in the West, because we kind of grew up the best of everything, bicycles and, skateboards and rock and roll and sports cars and, model airplanes and just all the cool stuff. We got to live through the era of the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. Well, the Rolling Stones are still around. How, I don't know, but how can you do that, put that much crap in your bloodstream and survive? I'm not sure. I think Keith Richards probably died 10 years ago. His brain doesn't know it yet. But I'm sorry, but the Rolling Stones are a standing testament to the nonsense that the American Medical Association's told us our whole lives about good health.
Yeah, look at how long Ozzy Osbourne lasted.
Oh, really? Talk about.
It's Tom Fox. He says, "I survived lawn darts."
Yeah, lawn darts. It's Darwinism, man. We had Darwinism. Look. The car has a glass windshield, a harpoon for a steering column, and one lap belt that that does not buzz if you don't wear it.
And a metal dashboard.
And a dash that's even got a wedge shape to the top of it, I saw those driver ed films, but I didn't really appreciate just what it, now I was, I'd love a 55 Chevy. And I hopped in one a while back, and I jumped in and I was like, and I looked at the steering column, and the centerpiece had a point on it. And I was kind of like, they literally mounted a spear for a center column in a car that has no seat belts. I would be driving at 4 miles an hour everywhere.
And let me tell you, those old cars were hard
Eagle
to drive.
Scout, that's impressive.
You had to be constantly paying attention.
Oh, yeah. Well, say when I drove that 67 Chevy I thought about buying, the guy had a 386 with an Edelbrock, so it moved like a scared cat. It's deceptive. You look at an Impala, it's a big, heavy-looking car. You hit the gas and it whips your neck back. How does much mass get moving that fast?
Now, the question is, how does it stop?
The other thing's how did it steer, because I had forgotten you kind of heard those things down the road. It's not like a modern car where they go to the wheel and it just goes straight.
Here's something you'll never see in school. I'll guarantee you. Herman just brought it up. He said, "You remember those videos that we had to watch when we were in driver's ed?
That's what I was just
All
talking
those
about.
crashes
Yeah.
The
and
driver's
all
ed
those
videos.
mangled people they were putting out of wrecks. And
Scared
in the
straight.
English class, you had to
Blood
watch
on the
those,
highway and
films about the Holocaust and all those dead bodies piled up all over the place. You wouldn't see anything like that nowadays.
But Ken, you have to look on the positive side. They showed us videos that if there was a nuclear blast, we should hide under kindling our desks.
Just get under your desk. That'll save you.
With your hands around the back of your neck like that.
If you remember I think it was 1989 Dragnet movie with Tom Hanks and Dan Aykroyd, at the end when they're going after the bad guy and Dan Aykroyd's driving like a lunatic, and Tom Hanks is like, slow down. He goes, don't you remember those films they show us in high school? Blood on the highway and death on the road. Yeah, two of my favorites.
Oh my God, I remember taking driver's ed. I drove to driver's ed and parked the car around the corner. Okay. And we had one of these, I'll never forget this. We had 69 Oldsmobile Cutlasses, Supremes. And they had a pedal on the passenger side, a brake pedal. The instructor would sit there and it had a bar that went over the hump and it was connected to the brake pedal on your side. So I'm driving and I'm going around this turn. All of a sudden I feel the car slowing down and the guy goes, "You're going too fast." He says, "I had to apply the brake. You need to take this turn a little slower." I'm like, okay. So we're driving around a little more. We come back to the same turn. So I speed the car up to go even faster and I stuck my foot under the brake pedal. And we go flying around the turn and he's stepping and it's not going and he's getting all for. And I said to him, "See, I told you we'd do it."
Well, now that in a couple of months I'll be collecting Social Security, I have a new goal to live a long time, to stick it back to the man.
Why, you didn't have that before?
Yeah, but now I'm getting my own money back.
Well, there you go.
Hey, somebody asked me, what would you do? With if you knew you're going to die in a year. I'm like, party my ass off and spend every penny, because.
Can't take it with you.
Well, my wife and I had just had this discussion. We watch a TV show called Mandy and Georgie's First Wedding. It's a spinoff of Big Bang. And the parents that they're living with, he sold the place and he realized, they're on a budget. And he goes, "Why are we on a budget? It's our money, not theirs. What if we just spend it all? We're going to die in 20 years anyway." So they decide they're going to spend all their money instead of trying to save it for the kids as an inheritance. And when he runs he hops out of bed. She goes, "Where are you going?" To tell the kids. And she jumps out of bed. "Hold on, I want to go with you." But our attitude is we put away for our retirement so that we can enjoy it. Not to make other people rich. So I probably should live a little more lavishly than I do. But I almost said the silliest thing. I was about to say, but you can only spend so much money on models. Oh, I should take that back.
What would you do if you knew that?
You are so wrong about that.
What would you do if you knew that you had a a defined limited amount of time left, what would you do?
Well, I do have a defined limited amount of time. I just
No,
don't know how
no,
much
no, no.
it is.
You knew, like, you know, I got
It
3
would-
months, 6 months, 9 months.
It
That's
would
it.
depend on how long it was, but if it was short term, seriously, I'd just make sure my wife was taken care of. Unless we're going to go together, in which case we're just going to spend it. I'm talking about first class all the way, you know.
Ken, how about you?
I learned to fly an airliner.
Okay.
And your first lessons in a couple of weeks.
Brian?
Probably buy an RV and start traveling until I die.
Okay.
Well, I kind of did that already, except mine floats.
Neutralized.
All right. Well, good.
And that's why I bought it.
Bought
Is
the boat.
because
Right.
Well,
it's
you
something
have
I've
perfectly
wanted
good
for
logic.
many, many years.
If I knew I had a short time to go, I'd be outside of Sarah McLaughlin's house just saying once,
I
just
knew.
once, please, once.
I knew that was coming. he's her stalker, but he's certified. He's approved, and you know.
I've been approved.
Yeah. And, well, guys, that's it. It's time to wrap it up. And I have been watching Stuart Fails to Save the Universe. The 2 episodes. It's another Big Bang spinoff. It's pretty cute. And
Oh, I saw the first one. It's great. That
yeah.
was good.
We saw the second one. You'll like it. It's good. But we started watching the podcast afterwards. Will Wheaton, you know, Sheldon's nemesis. And I'm like,
Yeah, that's good too.
you know, he's gone
Yeah.
from Stand By Me to doing podcasts on someone else's show. But hey, you know, it's a paycheck. And
The funny thing is you talk about kids and grandkids and this and that and your wishes and all that. So I've had the discussion with my kid about when I go, what I want for my final send off. So I tell him and he goes, oh, that's interesting. And he says, you know what I want? And I was like, no, he goes, I want a Viking funeral. It's like, what?
okay, but you're buying the boat. Ken, we'll use your boat.
There you go.
No.
Be careful, Ken. If that thing catches on fire, you may get a Viking funeral, want it or not. All right,
I
everybody.
tried very hard to make sure nothing's going to become flammable on the boat. Yes.
Ken,
Yeah, but it says flaming arrows that hit the sails that do it.
I say this with the deepest affection, but you're also doing the maintenance on it. And that, ladies and
That doesn't
gentlemen,
cut it, Max. Sorry.
Well, guys,
Just as an aside on that, I saw a boat tied up at the landing many, many years ago, back when I was sailing with Don Chapre. And there was just a burnt out hulk of a boat sitting there. And I asked somebody who was there, what happened to this boat? And they said, oh, they were grilling something on the back of the boat, and a spark or something came off the grill and went into one of the sails and caught the sail on fire. And because they didn't catch it soon enough, it burnt out the entire boat.
wow.
Totally destroyed it because nobody was paying attention. I pay attention.
That's why
That's my boat. That's my home.
That's why you can't pump gas in New Jersey, because some
Yeah.
guy wasn't paying attention and blew up the whole gas station. And so
Oh,
they
really?
said, you can't. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
why
you
you
can't.
can't pump gas in
Yeah.
New Jersey.
When I was in
That's
New
why
Jersey,
that's
the
the
guy
law.
came out, and he was like, you can't do that. And I was like,
You
do
can't
what?
have a grill on your deck in New Jersey because somebody set the house on fire.
All right, guys.
Just takes one.
Yeah.
We're going to let everybody go. Guys, I want to thank everybody for coming out. Hope you had a good time. And I'm going to let you guys say nighty-night, and then we'll be on our merry way.
Yes, Sparky does have a website. Tell
Yeah.
them what it is.
Yeah.
It's Sparky's Model Salvage on YouTube and Facebook, Sparky's Model Salvage.
Well,
There you
guys,
go,
thanks a
guys.
lot thanks for playing. We hope you had a good time. And we look forward to seeing you again next week. And Sparky, you got to keep us posted as to what happened with the audition tonight. We want to know. I mean, you know,
I'm sorry.
I mean, maybe we could have her come on and do a little bit for us on one of the live streams, you know.
Yeah, she'll be completely sloshed tonight, so I don't know.
Makes
That
it all
could be
the
good for
better. That only adds production value. Ken.
That's why she needed cash.
Yeah.
Oh, I am so biting my lip right now.
God, I hope my wife isn't watching this tonight. But
Yeah, did a
But sometimes Mac, it's not Mac. Steve, you just got Max to, you just gotta check. Is that something I should be saying before it comes out of your mouth?
no, I don't
yeah,
have
Ken.
that
They
filter.
didn't
It
put
just
that.
There's no filter
there's
there.
nothing to stop it. It just
You've
comes.
known me long
As soon
enough
as
to
it
know that they
registers,
failed.
boom, it's out.
You guys all know they failed to install that filter in me at the factory.
You two, yeah, that's probably
Now-
why you two get along so well.
Now just think, this is what's happening on the live stream. Wait till we have the road trip.
I am so looking forward to that. We're gonna have so much fun.
Oh yeah.
If we don't
All
kill
right.
each other.
No, we won't kill each other. There may be some other people that are injured, but we'll be
Hey,
fine.
it's a price we're willing to pay. Guys, everybody,
Hey, whoa! It's not
Well,
my turn. Is mine still my
Ken
turn?
didn't
yet?
get to say
say
his
goodnight,
greeting.
Ken.
Yeah,
Say goodnight, John boy.
Good night, everybody. Thank you for showing up. Thanks for joining us, Sparky. Really appreciate that. Y'all have a great time. We enjoy the comments a lot. I do read them, even though I can't get to most of them. I do try. Thank you and good night.
Brian, your turn.
I already have my turn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you missed that.
All right,
We're
thanks,
to you.
guys.
Attention, Max.
All right.
We're to you.
Well, thanks for coming out. We'll see everybody next week. And as always, model on.
Push the button, Max.
I'm pushing the button.
What's the button?
I'm trying. Here we go.